Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The War Room. If you are new to this channel, welcome. Returning subscribers, welcome back. It has been maybe 3 weeks since we have not been in the War Room. As you know, we've had Hurricane Melissa and everything else. Some of us didn't have any power in the internet, and so we are back. So, welcome. We have quite a bit to talk about here tonight. The other ladies will be in shortly. So before I go any further, let me just say hi to everybody first. Let us see. I know the JPU family is here. Karen people, them should be here. Good night. And Jamaica 411 people should be here. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining. So, hope everybody's having a good weekend and I hope all is well. Want to say good night to some of our friends who may be in the disaster areas, maybe, got shaken up a little bit by the hurricane. So maybe shaken up a lot. And even if they're not with us tonight, we wish them well. So, guys, I guess I will get started while the ladies waltz in. But the first thing I'm going to talk about with you guys before I go any further, or before they come in, sorry. It has been 18 days since, and I want you guys' feedback on this. It has been 18 days, good night, moderator, since Hurricane Melissa. And while we have seen the food packages, care packages, we have seen the emergency rescue of some people from certain communities. While we have seen the needs of nutrition being met, in my view, I think there needs to be some relief for the people who have completely lost their homes. I'm talking about temporary relief for people who may not have a structure where them can throw one tarpaulin over. You understand? You have some people where them only lose them roof, and if them have one tarpaulin, them can throw over the house that can shelter them from rain and harsh weather. I'm not talking about those people now. I'm talking about the people with extreme shelter poverty, right? So I want to know if you guys think it would be a good idea, or it should have been a good idea for the JDF to pitch some tents for the most affected, the most temporary, that is, some temporary shelters like this. Like on a ball field, you can pitch some of them tent here for the people them who are most vulnerable. That's my view. I think it would be a good idea to deal with kind of the next layer of relief for those who are most affected by the hurricane. I know that some people may not agree and some people may agree, but in my view, of course, if the JDF should be the ones to do it. And, I would expect to see, JDF people around the camp. You can have portable bathrooms. I remember at some events nowadays in Jamaica, you go to some events, they have some very good portable bathrooms that they use nowadays in Jamaica, right? So you would have your bathroom with your sanitary needs met, like places to wash your hands so that you can maintain sanitation. Of course, you can have people who volunteer to come cook, or even the same people them where they there. You set up a portable kitchen where them can cook, bring running water, whatever form of water you have, And if you can't even shelter 100 people from each parish with the most extreme need in these tents right here, temporarily, I think it would be a good idea. But I've always said since the beginning of this crisis that we cannot handle this crisis as just a food package crisis. This is a big crisis where people's homes are gone. And I am not advocating for the government to build back everybody else. We've been talking about this issue over here for the past 18 days. And I do not agree with the pressure being put on the government as if they are supposed to build back everybody else. That is not possible. It's very impossible. Not even the biggest country in the world like America cannot do that. But certainly we can and we should provide some temporary relief for the most vulnerable, the most hard hit, the people who their house flat, flat, flat. Even if them have to stay in the tent them temporarily and then go back at daytime in the community go to try build up back their house. Right? But at least when night come down now, them have somewhere safe, can sleep without dealing with the harshness of the environment. They can have food, and this includes children too. They can have food to eat, them can have a place to use the bathroom, them can take a shower, stuff like that. Even if we don't have no tent, because I don't even know if we have so much tent in Jamaica, but we can ask our international partners to help us with that. Let me read your feedbacks real quick. Guys, please hit the like button and big up everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining. All right. Let me see. Denver, good night. Denver said, wouldn't the shelters make sense for those who have completely lost their homes? The shelters are more sturdy than tents. As far as I know, Denver, some of the shelters them, a lot of the shelters them are damaged. Some of them don't have no power, you know. I'm not against the shelters at all. I was just throwing this idea out there because I think that we are sort of moving beyond the food package stage of the relief. I have some people out there with some serious shelter poverty. You understand? Good night, everyone. I am listening to Three the Hard Way featuring Natalie, Karen, Michelle. Good night. Thank you, Gilbert. Welcome. Yes, but some are schools, so they will need to transfer them somewhere. Yes, Valentina, thanks for that. Yeah, there are guys. Everybody now gonna have the right idea, you know. So we have to put our brain together sometime and discuss these things. Cause where Valentina just says a good thing. Some of these shelters are school for you and them need to open back up. Good night, 411. Welcome. Um, let me see. Plenty looking for houses free, never pay a dollar in taxes. They want partner draw and never put in a hand. Yes, Miss Donna, that is true. And we must not facilitate a dependency situation for too long. You cannot do that. I think when it comes down to shelter, the relief should be temporary. You know, um, I'm sure that out of this will come people who maybe can't help themselves because them too elderly, then too old, and for them go lose them house at this stage in them life. They maybe not have nobody. They maybe not have family member to help them and thing. 411 has a different viewpoint on this, and I think you guys should hear it. Let me see if our mic is working now. Michelle, is your mic working?
Yes, yes. I don't
Oh,
know what this thing has put
so
me
good
on.
night to the people them then, no?
Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing? Yes, I'm back. Melissa didn't get me at all. I'm in St. Mary. Just got back light, I think last week. And surprisingly, Flo is here and didn't pop down once in about 4 hours since I've been here, which must be a new beginning for them.
Oh,
So, how's everybody doing?
well, everybody seemed to be doing fine. So I started out talking about this, if you can see on the screen there, showing out the idea of dealing with the shelter poverty of the most vulnerable. People when have no house at all. When I talk about the people them with just their roof gone or when I say part of their house gone, people with them structure flat. So you wanna give them your view on what you think about this?
Well, actually, the little tent thing we have, look so bad enough. But of course, the main thing would be security. I wonder if they put a big tent though, like them ones at the church put out, if that wouldn't be it's just some place for people to sleep and then they have another tent where people can go and eat.
Oh
Um,
well, yeah, like a big dining hall kind of thing.
yeah, and you know, some
Yeah.
people will talk about privacy, but when people in the hospital, they know business them sick. It's the same type
Mm-hmm.
of dorm type of thing. The
Mm-hmm.
little private one like this one here could be tricky, you know.
Okay,
Um,
tell us so.
some people are entering, especially if women are in there
Yeah.
and children, and nobody will know what's going on. And if they even hear them, probably will mind them own business. So, or maybe a dorm like thing. But um, I've seen pictures of the tents over in the Gaza, or wherever it is, them have it, right? You look at it, you look one way, and you go down to the ground level, and it's all for problems I'm having with sewage and disposal and all kind of something, and disease breakout. So that's why initially I said, me no know, me no think so. But how this layout so bad, and then again if you have the big tent,
Mm-hmm.
that's another thing. But still you have a problem with the sewage disposal. They can always bring in tanks. They can always
Mm-hmm.
bring in tanks for people to use, temporary showers and stuff. But before we even we can ask the people in Westmoreland what them think about that. You know,
Yes. Well, the
outside
people
of
them who lose them house, not just anybody.
yes, outside of that, if people are now put up by friends and so on, they see which part them know, and then they go and sort themselves out. Then we need to find out how many persons are sleeping under the stars, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And if there aren't anybody sleeping under the stars, make them friends and family be useful, make themselves useful and stay.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Okay.
there was a person in St. Elizabeth who messaged to say that where she is, everybody with zinc roof literally blow off.
Mm-hmm.
The people in the community decided that they were going to help them one another, that they're not expecting the MP just to be able to do much for them, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so the lady said that the people and put on the roof for the other persons free of charge. They
Yeah,
were
people
helping
would do that.
them.
People would do that.
That is what is needed in Westmoreland. You can build house, go help your neighbor build house. Then
Mm-hmm.
them cook and them give you some food. You don't have to worry about that and so on. This thing, if you're sitting down waiting on money and so on, it may not work out and people need. So it's just for the people to cooperate and understand that everybody is in this thing and they are neighbors and they must try and help their neighbors too.
So when you
But
think about this idea where me hear some people like they must try pitch the idea say the government must build back the people them who lose their house.
how the government going to do that?
Me no know ask if you explain to the people them what you think about it.
Yeah, but them need to ask, they need to tell us how the government is supposed to do that. I mean, these are private people in their own dwelling, and I tell people all the while that the people in Westmoreland will recover faster than those in St. Elizabeth. Board
Okay.
houses. They went to just cut up the board, them, the wood them will fall down the trees and build back them house, right? Most of
Rotted.
those people, the reason why they live in board houses is because They are renting, they are leasing the land.
Mm-hmm.
So them simply lease the land and them have them house on stills. When they're ready to move, them get a truck move them house. That's why they call move when they talk here and talk about in Westmoreland, moving house is a serious thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? No, what is this thing we're looking at?
That's just some ruins, from people's homes in
But that look like some block. How the hell a block for liquor off a house like that? Them never no stealing of them. No, I'm supposed to feel sorry for somebody like this, right?
Do you?
Of course not.
What make?
Them supposed to know when them building what they're doing. You can't build a house with concrete and no. Suppose it was an earthquake that drop down on them and kill them,
Mm-hmm.
right? It look
True.
like them built upstairs and you can see the four corners. And that is not roof we're looking at. That look like block at the side of the house.
Mm-hmm. Oh, geez. So, what do you think about the progress of recovery so far?
Hmm. Well, the thing about it is we're hearing a lot of people talking about the disaster. I don't know to what extent we're hearing a lot about the recovery. I see one blogger was going through Westmoreland and showing the side of the roads. Either side of the roads, the people asking for food, but the person was moving so fast that they couldn't even see how well the people dress or anything like that. And of course, they couldn't hear. Maybe they were shouting food, food, food. I don't know, but they couldn't hear. But them says food the people wanted, and they went through showing houses. Of course, I think the people did a lot of cleaning up. So maybe the board structures and so it should have got knocked down. You know, see much of that.
Yeah.
And the damage to the concrete structure now with the roofs, you could see that some of that. The tree surprisingly was sprouting leaves. Them have to them if they hope to survive. And
Mm.
there was greenery again, and the roads very clear and undamaged by the looks of it. So the government, I believe, published somewhere that the damage to the infrastructure is about 26 billion US dollars. Well,
Mm.
that this for them, they probably saw, um, what the roads look like with all the debris on top of it. But
Okay.
and
So,
then
are you saying that the recovery process is going good or no?
I don't know. I don't know. The
Is it
recovery
that you don't
process
have enough information? Because I have a comment on it.
the recovery process is largely depending on the private people. The government have to deal with the government structures, infrastructure. And as I said, it
Mm.
does not appear as though some of it was damaged. Where the I mean, please, in East Rural you will have 'cause I mean not none near Rockstone and other places. You're going to have landslide and road tearaway and bridge. That is truly at homeless. So I don't know what they're doing there, so um but in other places, the first thing you notice is that the roads were clear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, when it comes to people on their private property, that is for them, you know, what them can manage between themselves and family abroad and money them having at the bank and any relief that the government may have, to assist. Government can offer assistance to persons, in certain
Mm-hmm.
circumstances. But the road infrastructure, the bridges and them kind of thing, that's government business. And it's only when the roads are clear that you're going to see what condition they are in. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? If the roads are damaged, what's
Mm-hmm.
the government doing about it? Them kind of thing. I can't tell you.
In my view, I think I don't have enough information. Like you never have light for a little while, right? And you have some people they never have light neither. Maybe never have no internet and them something there. So maybe them that miss some things within the news cycle or stuff like that. I think that the government of Jamaica is lacking in communication. There's a lot of things where I don't really know. You understand? And it's not because
Mm.
I'm not paying attention. It's because there's not enough inform like there's two separate type of information that I would like to see. The government talking about, what they're doing, I guess you could say what they're doing in the planning process of, not the planning process, but how the logistics are work out. You understand the debt toll and them something there. But may I expect now to hear another side of communication where you are getting frequent and daily updates about what the government is doing daily in these different disaster parishes or areas. I feel like there's so much information to be shared right now that we're not getting enough of it, I don't think.
Well, I don't even know if they're doing in COVID. They had a daily press conference. Are they doing
Yes.
that? Are they doing that now? Or
No, no, they not do it every day, no.
do they need to do it daily? It was Stockton that
Because
was
remember,
on
we
daily.
have the world I watch, we know. So
Martin,
information cannot be too much, you understand?
there are places you can go and get the information. You can go on the JDF website, on YouTube, and then show you what them doing out by the airport and where they are going, so you can know what them doing. What we don't know is what the JDF is doing. We don't see any map showing us like where and this and that, like in COVID. I don't know if maybe it's being done, I don't know if the command that the art pen is doing that. I just have not been following, paying much attention. So maybe somebody in the comment section can tell us whether or
Somebody
not they're
say
helping.
Somebody said JIS and you mentioned JDF. But here's the thing. We live in a time now where we're not going to be searching around to these individual places for information. Like when we want to hear what is going on with the government and sit, may I look for see the Prime Minister page put out something, you know, and then we will click on that and watch. But most people are not going to do that. You want to have as I said over here, them need a press secretary to come talk to the country daily. And if them play with that information, something them are going a problem.
Well, here Hugo telling us that they have daily press briefing. So we just have to look out for it.
I don't know if the
Um,
press briefings are daily. I don't know if they're daily, but
yeah, that him said. So we
even
will
when
get to
I
know it
watch the
for him.
press conferences, I
Mhm.
still feel like there's something missing. I feel like they're addressing the logistic side of the whole thing, but there's also other parts to it. You know me I say, I don't know if I'm
Mm.
explaining myself properly, but hopefully some
Maybe they're
people
not. Maybe they're not getting information either.
how them not fair get information and them have Starlink and sitting
Yes, but it depends on who giving them information. At the PMP era, they giving them information.
that again.
So they must use up the councillor caretakers. If the PMP don't want to cooperate, use them caretakers. I'm sure they are willing and get the information.
Oh,
I don't know if they're lacking in information. We don't know.
I
But we
want
hear
to.
the PMP MPs are able to say that this place don't get no assistance and that place. Um, I think it was you was telling me that somebody send them more food. They said I send them more
Those
food.
send no more food. They want shelter.
Yes, because what you see, the thing is, once there is this is what I'm saying, when I'm talk about people starving and they're going to starve to death, once you have access to the community, then we come out and go anywhere they could go get them money. Because some of the time them have the money in the bank or the money underneath the mattress. I doubt that. They probably walk with the money going shelter. And they will come out and go and find somewhere where they can get, assistance. And here's the food over there, so give what them gone.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Well, on the
Maybe them
forum, me ask the chat one question. The labor rights them when at the chatter say they give daily press briefings with the Minister of Information. Do you think that the information that the government is putting out now is enough? Tell me. Because if you say so, you don't understand information with all due respect. If you think that the information this government is putting out right now is enough information, then you don't understand communication.
and
Trust me.
maybe they're just putting out what they have.
Me no know
I
something wrong
mean,
with it. Something wrong with it. And I'm not one to nitpick. Me no nitpick. Me say
I
what is
mean,
necessary.
what information are they going to put out? They're going to put out, for example, what they are doing, where they have
Yes.
been, and how many assistants, how many dead. right? How many hospitalized? What them doing
Them
about? Because you know
talk,
about
wait now. When them come out, then talk about how much light JPS put on back.
yes,
Them talk about the cargoes them we are coming. Them talk about
yes,
the death toll, right?
yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
them might give us information based on you see me not really
Yeah,
me
then
not
giving us information based upon what people want to hear. People want to hear who they affected when them a get their light.
Yeah, but there's a lot more information into the whole disaster thing, and that's why I'm saying, and some other people in the chat saying that there's not enough information, right? And then them out there fight the disinformation at the same time. That's why I may say you can't have one set of people. You need to have a press secretary and understand that a press secretary is different, and their jobs, the scope of their job is different from the information minister. So we have to
Mm.
understand how communication works.
It's not only information minister. I'm sure the other ministers involved, like Colonel Charles Jr. not come out because he look like a failed ministry. Although
Well,
quite
when
like this
well
to
when
some
them
other.
again the press conferences, them all of them they're there together
Mm.
and then take turns speaking. But the
We need
press,
a map.
eh?
We're telling them right now we need a map. We need to see the disaster areas and we need to see where get help and the other sections we're not getting no help. Them need to see it themselves so them can know where to go or ask the JDF where they went about this. Where's the JDF? Where have they been and where they have not been to yet,
Uh,
based upon the information. That we want here, and then that will now put an end to all the PMP shenanigans where them are going with them risers.
all
Right?
right, talking about the risers now. Me you say you put out one video about the Buju something. Me not get to watch it yet, but me can watch it tonight. Now, did you know that Buju him now take down the post where him a accuse the people them have thief in?
Well, I wonder why I took it on, never give a reason.
No, him could have turned off the comments over Instagram. Him never, if he was overwhelmed by comments or
No,
whatever,
no. If he took it down, chances are whoever
him
donated
find the
that
things
barrel
there.
recognized the barrel and told him that I saw them send it. You understand? Because I don't think of him send the things. I think him collected things from people who were donating. He probably sent some too,
Mm-hmm.
right? And clearly, when him showed the barrel, the person who sent it probably recognized and said, "My barrel that and it never full." So him take it down. But he must come out and tell us that he made a mistake, right?
Or maybe him find the things them. Well, that's basically what you're saying.
Maybe him did find it, maybe him, and that too. No, he won't find them then. The barrel is half empty. So them photograph it and say, go game. So it is half empty. What about the stove? We know you're not gunfire about the stove.
Well, the stove and the Starlink never depend on a flight manifest.
No. If that is the case, first of all, the United States have rules. Let me explain. The United States have rules, you see,
Mm-hmm.
like any other country, but them more than some, where they do not allow certain things to leave the United States. You
Mm-hmm.
remember with the school buses, all them have to go through some rigmarole to get the school buses out?
Yeah.
Yes, a whole heap of things them have on list that you have to get permission to leave the United States. There is a customs department. Nobody can pull up no plane and fly out. If the United States ever government ever find out, so then put things on plane and fly and they not go through customs,
Mm-hmm.
right? There been a problems. So
Mm-hmm.
the customs officer will have to come and look at what is leaving and check and inspect, right?
Yeah.
And they would look in there and then they would seal it up back, right?
So to when it reach at Jamaica, they not go through it too. Cause when me ship
So,
down things, them go through it at the warehouse at the
well,
port.
Bar said that apparently they didn't. They have an option, they can either search or them don't search. And Bar said they didn't search. No. When the customs is looking, right? It's just like when you go in a Chinese shop, them and you buy, no, you see them a tick off, look. Not true value, you see them a look this way, you buy and tick off for your receipt.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So the customs go through the packing list where you supply and then say such and such, where they stay free. And then tick, where is the such and such, and then tick, and then carry on. If a stove, and first of all, what kind of stove was it? Was it a four burner? Was it an electric? I doubt it. It must have been a gas stove. Is it a two burner? Is it a one burner?
We now have that information there.
I doubt it is a four burner. And it's one source of stove, because stove himself never say stoves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now me want to know who in Jamaica got teeth stove to rat, two burner stove. But anyhow, um, maybe them a think to sell it. So when the customs in the United States go through that list, that packing list, they're going to tick off what is there and then they're going to wrap it back around or maybe put on for them wrap, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it reached to Jamaica, if somehow the United States customs missed that the store was there and it not on the packing list, but it was in one of the barrel or something, when the customs go through it, right? And they don't see no store. Then find the store, but it's not on the list. They are going to seize the item. It's not properly entered.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And they're going to what is known as detain it. He would have to come with him evidence and show us a fee and whatever else, and then declare it and it enter into the island. So I was suggesting that since the store was not on the packing list, if you come off of the plane and then look and then see, they might take it to one side because it's not on the list. You don't have any documentation.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my suggestion and told him, call customs and ask them to go look and see if them did seize a store, right? And then they will tell him, or the broker will tell him what to do in order to have it cleared. Now we don't know if we know hear not more gunfire about it anymore, not complaining about it anymore. But had the customs found it, I'm sure Daryl Vance will come out and say they find the store, right? So the point is, if a store was in the shipment, right? Him says store was in the shipment, but it was not on the list that them sent. So either the store never leave, the store wasn't there, he was misinformed about the store. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he may have been misinformed and found out that whoever said them selling stove probably said something else now. There's
Yeah.
another possibility that the stove went to the airport and then ship it gone somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
How much time people take plane and then baggage and up somewhere else?
True, true, true. Karen,
So
welcome. So, Karen, we are at the point now where two things, whichever you want to jump in on first. Buju take down the post and put up over Instagram and say the people them tea from him. And the next thing we're talking about the progress of the recovery process in Jamaica after Hurricane Melissa. We were also talking about maybe some tent community for the people them who totally and completely lost their homes. This of course will be temporary. So you want to chime in?
I have a sore throat, so I just want to make a good night, everyone.
Mm-hmm. Good
So I have a
night.
sore throat and I have a runny nose.
Oh
And
God.
I'm sitting in the middle of my yard because I just do some gardening.
Mm,
Um, I don't know about the intensity thing because I have a very different view. People that need to come out and the people in school and the people in church and go back at them yard. Now
them you,
they might not have a structure to go back to. They need to go clean up them yard, look for the zinc, look for the board. Them go to Manchester and people look for them board and look for them zinc and blow all over the place and then find them and then pack them up, then put them for dry. Some people just need know somebody to help them know to start put it back together. Now Saint Elizabeth, Westmoreland in particular, them, I got build back the whole of them board house. What is holding them up? Them need first to find the board them. Build back them board house. Come out of the people in school. The people in St. Elizabeth in the people in school. But come out of the people in them school. The school need to sanitize and clean up and normalcy need to be returned to the people. And Miss Dana, she out there doing all kind of videos, all kind of people doing this and doing that. She need to concentrate her efforts on getting the schools up so that the people, the children doing PEP and those doing CXC, upcoming CXC, get back into a classroom. No
mm,
matter what is going on, no matter how many people lost homes and all of that, and the careless parents them lose a bit them uniform and a bit their shoes and a bit their bag. The most important thing in all of this is a return to normalcy. And that normalcy must be established first and foremost with the kids. Them can't be stuck at home in a shelter with them mother looking depressed and everybody look like there's nowhere to go and nothing to do. Them need to get back out into school to save not only what them learning, but to save their mental health. You have them mired in this for too long. It's too long. It's too long that they're mired into this. School them to fix up fast, pitting them to go back to school, who don't have uniform, them to get uniform, and Dana Morris and Dix must concentrate on that. Cut,
Mm.
sorry, concentrate on that. In regard to the information thing, there's not enough information. This is not how information flow.
All
The
right.
government have lost the narrative completely.
Okay.
The government have absolutely no control over the narrative that's out there. The risers are doing them own narrative, social media doing them own narrative, people like Buju and some entertainers doing them own narrative. The government have absolutely no control over the narrative. And it's a dangerous thing. Very, very dangerous thing for everybody narrative to be out there. Except yours, who everybody is going to be holding accountable for every damn thing.
So what
Because
you
if
think about the daily press conferences now?
they must have daily updates. It don't have to be a press conference, daily updates. And they need to come out of that Jamaica house scenario, set up one next place, get an interactive map, as Michelle was suggesting earlier, that we get a map, get an interactive map. And every day you come out, you update that map in terms of what has been done and what been doing. And now them are doing work, at the JDF. They just need to gather the information and put it out and start behaving like them are insurance agents and feel cleanup coordinators. Them are politicians. It's one to them. They have to remember that the risers, them are Mark Gold, them running politics. And I'm not suggesting by any means that the government should run politics with the effort. But I'm certainly concerned. I'm very, 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 very concerned about the government posture and the whole matter of the information going out. Everybody making them own individual video. Some is Dana go down to States and she and some teachers and people from States are clean up a school down there. And that's a great thing, but that's a great video. She needs to go get the damn people them into school and get them back some normal life. She needs to go make sure them get a uniform and book and school with them careless, dirty parents, them make wash way.
Well, Karen, me hear Cassandra gave an interview, brief interview, saying that what them a plan for do. Like she has said, no, it's not the time to talk about online school. What they're planning to do is to ask boarding schools, I guess, across the country to accommodate some of these displaced students.
Why? Them school mash up?
I guess if the school them mash up or maybe if they're not a home.
No, if them school mash up and why is it taking so long to put them at the roof them and get the school going? I don't understand. Them busy hand out packages of crackers and all kind of things where people do when the ungrateful nigger them in Jamaica know what cost that. Them busy hand out several hundred packages a day and they don't get to pick them school up and running it. The first after them start clean up and clear the roads and get some food and water to the people, the first two things are the hospitals and the schools. We're talking about. They're talking about them going to ask this and ask that to do that. That might be needed to do, yes, but your first responsibility is to get the damn school up. So if there's a primary school that need a rooftop, get moving. That should have put on all of them who live in the put them out. Put them backside out.
So you think them a put too much emphasis on the care packages then?
Too much emphasis on giving people a package. Everybody down there, I mean everybody, barring none, every single solitary person down there, from St. Elizabeth to Westmoreland to wherever else that get damaged. Everyone them collect at least 20 packages a piece. Them can't tell me nothing that Jamaica will live. Every one of them turn up for every package that is given out. Some of them soon start sell crackers if them not start already. And sardine and corned beef. In Manchester and some places in St. Elizabeth like Bogue, people helping each other to rebuild. Them can't sit down and make it look like for them situation worse than everybody's situation because they're waiting on government to do something for them.
Mm-hmm.
It can't continue like this. This recovery effort, every day you get up, the recovery effort is about finding places people live. What is it where places people live? Government have some key responsibilities and government must just carry out those responsibilities. How many people have got them yard? and go back to them land wherever it is that them crawl out from, where them never listen to the government to tell them all of them will buy pretty car and wig and clothes and phone and watch and them roof in a terrible state.
Mm-mm. So where is they run them from out of the shelter?
Run them out and them got them yard. Put them out and them got them yard. If you don't put them out, them now gonna come out. Cause them think
Jesus.
them come to stay. And government must bring stuff, come give them. And if you don't bring stuff, come give them stay up in the shelter and complain how them don't get stuff. So
Mm-mm.
it's something has to be done, some tough love has to be employed. And the government just need to get a hold of the situation. And the
Yeah.
government losing control of the narrative and losing control of the whole damn blasted thing as far as I'm concerned. But not to say that the effort is not in progress. It is. I mean, at the rate that this is going, we're much better than first world countries that have had disasters. There has been basically a great return to light and clean water is available to most places again.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of the lazy ass, careless people them for come out of the pit of them school and let the pit of them life get back to normal.
But
And
Karen, you want to the Manchester council them where about say they want more money for help the people then.
want to all the money with them have down there. Them
You know,
thief all
to
like
them,
already.
you then say them not have enough money, them want more money.
Enough money to do what?
Them say for help the people them.
Help the people them with what?
Me no know me dear. Me see them publish it say them want more money. Them want
To
bad for
do
more.
what?
You know, so the $250,000 where them supposed to did get before the storm. A 17 out of 40 of them go for the money, The rest of them not go for the money,
Well, in a Kingston and St. Andrew.
Me don't know which part, but
Yeah, man, if I
I'm
fought yeah,
frightened to
Kingston
see.
St. Andrew.
Eh?
Yeah, well, that show you. Kingston St. Andrew not that much damage, so them they don't know or if you go get nothing. I don't
Oh,
know about
okay.
the rest of I don't know the rest about the rest of the country. But
Okay.
that shows how much them care about people. That
Oh,
shows them level of care. Oh
all
yeah,
right.
that shows that them don't care about nobody but themselves. But the government need to get a control get control of of this thing.
Communicate, yeah.
This
All right.
denial.
We have forgot take up a woman here now. Me go play one record because this a woman that talks on sitting. I talk like say I be a thief there Jamaica. Dionne Jackson-Miller, me love.
At
So
time
me
we
just
talk about that woman and give her so much prominence. She's not worth it. I
hold
think she
on
did
man,
something
then
because she
the
can't get
media
prominence.
landscape for that shower. Hold on, hear this.
Jamaican people say you can't rub butter on puss mouth, right? And with hurricane relief, supplies and aid and money pouring into Jamaica, there's going to be a whole lot of butter tempting a whole heap of puss. We have to stop them right now. All right, look, friends, let's not be naive, all right? Make no mistake. The vultures are circling and the thief them are get them long bag ready. A disaster on the
Mr. Jesus have mercy, the woman make it sound like I be a puss and thief there at Jamaica. What have to say about this? Come and even want to get started.
She's unimportant in the scheme of things, so the international community will not listen to her. She's unimportant. No international community is going to listen to her and act based on what she says. So she's unimportant in the scheme of things. She can stay there and carry Matalan's narrative, but the international community will not be listening to Dionne Jackson-Miller. The international community listen to me more than all them that listen to Dionne Jackson-Miller. And what she has to say is something she has to fair look talk, fair look people them and she and Mark Golding them because she working for Mark Golding.
Mm-hmm.
And that is just to cover for them look a base of support. Nobody across the world will be listening to Dionne Jackson-Miller. The international community has a love and support, not only for Jamaica, but for Jamaica's leaders. They love Kamina Johnson. They love Audrey Marks. They love Ed Bartlett. They love Babsy Grange. I am just telling you, people that I know, the international community have relationships and they love these people. And you sent me something about this pastor in Georgia. All
Mm-hmm.
of the evangelical pastors across America are now in their preparation mode to start put things together to send whole heap of things to Jamaica from the evangelical community. And that is not per se, yes, Jamaica, but also their relationship with Andrew Holness. And
Mm-hmm.
he's the biggest star in all of this. And them could have Dionne Jackson-Miller and Mark Golden and what's your name? Natalie Garvey, them
Mm-hmm.
could have rant and rave and quarrel and do all kind of things till Jesus come. They will not be successful in getting the international community to say, stop, hold on, wait a minute. Them not going to get that. That's not going to happen. And there's a whole lot of reasons why that not going to happen, but they're not going to happen. So I don't listen. I not paying Dionne Jackson-Miller. I mind she's singing for her supper and she worked for Matalan and Mark Golden, and nobody now listen to she except for them people. Not a soul America can say, oh no, you're Dionne Jackson-Miller. Yeah, nobody in the EU, nobody in France, nobody in Canada, nobody in the US, no government official is going to say, because if you mention people say, who? Who's that? No, there you go.
Mm. So the
Well,
argument now of the rise as demanded the people them
well,
When
say
Mr.
hold
Lord
on a
says
little,
something,
little. Let
Andrew
alone
was stepped down in a 2 year. Where say
Mr. Lord says
hold
something.
on a little bit. Hold on a little before you jump on that. No, she's speculating about something that she says is going to happen, right? Where is our evidence? You hear anybody? You hear the people you hear some people get robbed. I don't even know if any such thing take place, right?
Miss Pamela Monroe is on the case, real time auditing, and when
As
she
far
has
as
information, she's gonna put it out. I will love that, glad for that. So if Dionne Jackson-Miller have information, she must pass it on to Pamela Monroe.
she was trying to turn to the police.
Yeah, she was
Now,
first go to the police and then go to Pamela.
as far as we know, what is coming into the island for relief to the government, I do believe, is being received by the JDF. Go on the JDF website on Facebook, and you will see them out there working, them alone. You don't see nobody, not even no civilian, no police, them alone, and receive the items. And I do believe they distribute. And
It's them
when they
alone,
get to
boy, let
the
me tell you.
and when they get to the communities, of course, there's never enough of them, but not to worry. You have the little young men them out there, then a string and a catch and a pass to the throw to the next one and so on, and get the vessels offloaded or the trucks offloaded and so on. So she needs to tell us where in that process the
No, she don't
vultures
tell
are
her.
going to come out.
She need to go tell Pamela Monroe and the police.
She don't need
Where
to
the
tell
push them?
Pamela Monroe and it's nothing. She needs to
No,
tell the police.
yes,
But
where's the push them? Where the
she a talk
butter
with thief,
is?
you know. A
Yeah,
thief
the
she a
teeth them.
where so where the
She
butter
need to
there?
tell her. Yeah, what she must tell the she must go tell the police where the butter there, where the teeth them there,
there.
where the
And when
push
the
them
thief
there.
them. So
Yeah.
who is it that she are called Butterware Rubber Thief? What
She
is
must go
she
tell the
talking about?
police. Nobody's listening to Dionne Jackson-Miller. Nobody care
Let me
what she
ask
has to
you
say.
another question. In the past, when we have this kind of disaster, did we have any? Me don't remember any complaints about people at teeth, this or the things that end up being sold.
I
Or, I
predict the
mean,
one I predict, only in a year. I
No,
predict she
no,
predicts the people
so
no,
she
no.
don't have a very
tea.
high opinion of people. She wants to make the people in this world believe, right, that the people who are receiving the goods are the thieves.
And that
And
will be
that's
the
what I'm
JNF.
saying.
And that
Yeah,
will
but
be the JNF.
And the
Yeah.
government,
no,
yeah.
That will be the
because she
government
don't
of
think
the
the
JNF.
people know. She don't think the
Mm.
people know who are receiving the items,
Yeah.
right?
She
So
want to,
all
she
of
want, it's just she not gone up far enough yet to say a Tom and a Jerry and a Jerry friend and Tom friend are receive the goods. She not gone that far yet because she think everybody's stupid.
she is now claiming that these things coming in is like putting the butter a puss mouth. Who the hell she calling puss? Who
No,
is a puss?
exactly.
The government not receiving nothing. The government of Jamaica, no politician, as far as I know, no, they receive nothing, right? So she needs to come and you see, this is a part of the information now that is lacking. Why she's able to talk this kind of rubbish. I don't know what is
Mm.
wrong with this woman. This woman look like she's losing her mind.
It look like she not look the same from September 3rd,
No, she don't look the same earlier, so she look different.
Yeah, man. She look, her eyes them dark. Her soul is dark and it's showing on her face.
And she
She
stop
Something
taking
begin,
not
care of
going
herself.
on.
she beginning to look like Dayton Campbell.
Lord God.
Something right with her. Because I don't know what she's talking about. But play it again, make we hear. Let me see if me I hear right, please.
Okay. Just a second. See it here.
Out of what appeared to be a half-empty relief barrel. Jamaican people say you can't rub butter upon puss mouth, right? And with hurricane relief, supplies and aid and money pouring into Jamaica, there's going to be a whole lot of butter tempting a whole heap of puss. We have to stop them right now. All right, look, friends. Let's not be naive, all right? Make no mistake. The vultures are circling and the thief them are get them long bag ready. A disaster on the unprecedented scale of Hurricane Melissa, which hit Jamaica as a category 5, is also going to be bringing in unprecedented amounts of relief aid into Jamaica. We
Jesus
have to
Christ. Imagine if the international
Who
community.
is we? We have to stop them. We.
And that me, I wonder,
It look
I
like
wonder
we?
what is the
our
process
mind.
of the stopping. No, she need to
Yeah.
tell us what is the process of the stopping that we
Yeah.
have to stop. And who is she
No.
stopping?
What is it we're stopping?
No, the
Who is
thief.
we?
We
The
need to,
thief.
we need to
You
stop the
start to
thief
sound
from
like
getting
a
What is
the
it?
riser.
Come on, she is a rise a long time.
It's not making any sense. How is it that we are
Yeah.
going to stop the
Sounds stupid.
vultures that are circling and
But
the butter
nobody's
from
listening.
and the
Nobody's
butter from being rubber people mouth? How that going to happen?
Nobody not listen to
Now,
the
can you believe that this woman is supposed to be a journalist, though?
Now,
No,
can you
she's
believe
supposed to
that
be a
tell you about the
Jamaican.
picture?
Eh?
Anybody hear this woman talking from foreign? If they even hear the comments, they would be shocked out of their wits.
Thank
And
you.
wonder what kind of unpatriotic. All them other places you think them sitting there could have take place?
No, but
Eh?
look here now. If you feel say America have teeth,
Where have tea?
eh?
Say it, no.
Everywhere have teeth, right?
But
And
where is the
majority of the people them is not teeth. But
of
everywhere
course
you go
not.
in the world, you're gonna have a look at 1 and 2 people who have a bit distance and do them kind of sitting there. Now, can you imagine one disaster happening in America and you go hear the journalists them in America say, "No, watch
I
out for
can't
this."
get the teeth them a circle.
She said this a
Yeah,
woman and sitting wrong with her.
man,
We
something
need
wrong
to
with
change the
that.
laws them in Jamaica and start to call up some of them. Let them come and tell you which part the
Yes,
thief and the
she
stuff
need to
that
clarify. She
circle.
need to say where is it? Who are circle the wagon? Which thief have them long bag ready? So if you talk up,
Yeah.
The customs people
and,
she a talk about. I
and
can't the
most
customs people them a talk about. I mean
and
the
most
thief out there,
importantly,
yes.
she need to tell me who is the we who's going to stop them.
And that me want to know at how. No, sir.
We who is the we?
Who's the we
We.
and who?
Lord, look what journalism come to in the world, you know.
No, so she under some kind of stress.
She depend
She
court, man. She must be they are just really depend something, man. She has sniff something.
no
So
she
Karen,
feels
where you think
From
about where Buju
September
along with?
3rd, she has sniff something. She starts sniff from September 4th.
What you think about where Buju along with?
I have a special boy, Buju.
because she look different.
Boy. Oh, oh. I have no view on Buju.
Well, him take down the post, so I guess we can leave it there.
In fact, on him kind of
Most people
post
will.
everything what he said, but the
Most
teeth in
people
and
will. Most
Yes,
people
yes, him take it down.
oh, he must be finding something then.
Him find
Or
them,
know what
man.
happened.
Me feel
I
say him
know what
find them
happened.
at St. Mary.
maybe
Oh
in
man,
fact,
you
it's
really
oh
that
man,
there.
you will have them, yeah.
Yeah, he might be going to pay
Long
him,
with them,
pay
the
him two
teeth, take
pallets.
that, them something.
He will pay two
Maybe,
pallets, you know, so
maybe,
maybe they
them,
find it, you know.
maybe those are the thief Dionne Jackson-Miller talking about. The thief
Where's
them with
the
the long bag.
where's
And
the
the
new
piece of
la
the
post? New
nah,
la
no, that thief, they forgot to Mountain did send Lawrence to watch him.
Oh, a
Mountain
post.
send Lawrence to watch him, you know. The mountain business.
Oh Jesus. No,
Oh,
sir.
So
Jesus.
maybe I him shut up about when you realize that him have the stove and whatever else. So now we know what are the thief with long bag is. The puss where I have the butter and the fridge was the stove was the butter. Got you there,
Mm.
got you.
And
We
the
have
long bag, and the
now
long
we
bag.
know now we know who's the we. That we know is we. We are watch them. We are watch them.
So Newell put up on him Instagram where he tagged Butcher thanking him for I guess bringing in the stuff. But Karen, come here now, come here, come here. Can you imagine? We have a thing now when named the Hurricane Aid scandal. And you know why it's a scandal? Because me never see yet where you have disaster in our country and the people them are taking aid for give PMP MP alone. Where the hell can go so? Eh?
Yeah, it a go so do like that.
That's why nobody no sorry for Buju from Buju come
Yeah.
confess say him make space pan him cargo. For the
Mm.
PMP MP them get the aid. So when the PMP MP then get the aid, how would them gonna get the aid too?
But what wrong with it
We,
though?
we
And it's
getting two
immediately
from
after this Dionne Jackson talking about puss and butter and teeth with long bag. This directly point to Emmanuel. That the first thief with long bag, the first puss.
another people don't
Yeah,
long
and
back.
the
Give
one that is
yourself.
butter.
You getting two
And the first and the
in
first man
two
that with the
pallets.
butter. Remember, you know, remember we have history with him and we know how Bunting talk it. Bunting send Lawrence Road over the business and say, I want you take care of my business, so I want you watch that boy Newell. So
Jesus.
there. We know who the pussies now and we know who the we is. We
Mm-mm.
still trying to find out who the we is, but you know, we
Yeah,
know who
unless we start. What they are really at talk about?
unless we stop them. But
And
as
then
far as
they
I'm
should talk
concerned,
about the governor general, you know. She didn't make
I,
no sense to make assumptions that weren't there, and then when we pointed out to her, she come back captain better than she
I
just
am
has that in
I am
herself.
going
When
to
she got the press conference, them should go on with herself,
And I
she,
talk
Me,
about
me
the
I feel say a
things
whole trouble
government,
a woman yeah. She go on body at the press
the
conference, them
things
I don't
that
know why they keep on a letter in there,
yeah, man, if you
in
let her in the man. Make she keep going on, bad man. She gonna burn
and
us one of these days. Make people get to see her in all her glory, man. She need for dead, man. And she
why
need
the
for go on
government
with herself.
why the government didn't install immediate field hospitals. The amount of something she had talk about, and every time she open her mouth, and Melissa told me, I wonder about Katrina.
Yeah. Well,
Not
well,
generation.
well,
I
Dionne
watch.
Jackson might very be, she might also very well be one of them puss with the butter come and very well be one of them long back person because
Takes
the
one. Takes one to
because
know.
yeah, but yes, she might very well be one of them PMP are bringing them own money. So them need to watch out. So we don't need to watch them. She might be one to teach them with a long bag.
So
No,
she a talk about oversight, right? And she a talk about who fi watch who. When them a talk about oversight and money, me I feel keep on a remind them say PNP open a portal for taking hurricane money. So who a watch that the money there?
that she not watch that. No,
Eh,
the
No.
next thing the
she now
government
watch
needs
that
to
money. She
do.
now go watch that.
The
That
next
money
thing
them take.
the government needs to come out and tell the people of this country when money is received by the government, where it goes, what account it goes to, how the money come out of that account, right?
Mm.
And whether or not them have to have what they call that word them using a government warrant, right? Or there's an emergency, how they go through the procurement in an emergency case. I am sure there is a special fund that all that. What do you think? They think the Jamaica government are
But the
provisional
things are a
government.
coconut cake. But the things are coconut cake shop government well.
It's a,
But
it
the
is
thing the
a
government
properly
I sell cheese sticks.
it has accounting processes. Every dollar and no MP don't get the money. The money go where it's supposed to go unless the parliament grant them some money or grant. And sometimes I know if the MP them must spend the money either. Right? So we
Mm.
I
need to
personally
know the process. And then
I
that will shut
personally
up
believe
people about people vultures are go round and wait for aid.
a
As if
circle the wagon.
damn well I know so not go so.
You want to know say go sign a PMP camp shut up, not the rice camp shut up.
Maybe.
Them have separate something.
Yeah,
Um
yeah. Them a do
a
their own
rice
thing
camp
and that
shut
is
up
one
and
they
them
do.
shut up man. I try,
And that is
What she
one
doing? What she doing is reverse psychology because she knows that them over there do.
and there
So
is no
She
control
must
over
see in
that
the
money.
rise of them WhatsApp group. I take
and
them
that
talking point.
yeah, and that no control over this one. There's we don't know if Miss Pamela gonna ask them about for their money, which she should. Keep a track of for their money because that's people money where they might give.
Yes, but
And,
them payments and them receive money to give people.
yes, and Miss Pamela need to keep a track on that too. They,
That
they
is the money
are
that has no
they are
control.
they are in fact the opposition in the parliament. Miss Pamela
That
need to check on that as well.
that is the money that has no control. Any money that the PMP receives for relief, where is it going? Which accounts
Who in
they're going
charge
to?
of it? Which account? Who draw those checks? Who for signatures
Yes,
on them? Who
and how
decide
they go about drawing the checks.
who yes, and who decide who gets what, where goes to where? That means that them for check back. How we need Miss Pamela for check on that.
And whether or not the money is distributed to the MPs and what kind of control them have over that, because that is part of the reason why the government probably not keen in a scarce time to go give MP money because how you control that?
So
So what
Karen,
you
how
Yeah?
you did there? How you did there when Mark said he want the government to give every MP 50 million?
Yeah, I heard him with that foolishness, but him can't draw down on some of him slave money. I heard about that. You could draw down on some of him slave money.
Me and Lawrence were asking him say where the slave money there?
Yeah, man, draw down on some of that slave money, man, and give everybody and give female MP them 50 million. He can draw down on that
Lord
slave money.
Jesus, no sir.
But in terms of some of the things that Dionne Jackson-Miller and the rest of them talking about, the Prime Minister have spoken in Parliament, and I still do fervently believe that the Prime Minister himself needs to address the nation, not from Parliament, not
But it's Karen, it look like some me you think alike. Are the same thing we say yesterday, you know?
they need to address the nation, man. Go out.
Yes.
When I'm going to do it from St. Elizabeth or from Trelawney or from Westmoreland, not Westmoreland at all, please. But wherever we do it from one of them, or Jamaica House, him
Jamaica
just need
House
to,
is fine.
yeah, him just need to go address the country, man,
We
not
want
from
to hear from
Parliament,
him
man.
without the fanfare in
Because
a parliament.
without interference from Parliament and the risers them in there running them 20 question thing like them half idiot. But him need to address the nation, man. Talk to the people. Him need to talk to him people. Him need to, and him also need in that address to deal with some of the misinformation. Not to go by them one, but
Mm-hmm.
state very clearly this is the process that we have. These are the people running the process. And really blah blah. Talk about how the thing running. Him need to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why is it that them do it. That him need to do it.
You know, so I see one foreign journalist put up one video yesterday. I wonder if I think me have the video. I want to know fear because it look like say the disinformation is now becoming a thing. Because when you hear, he's not a foreign journalist. I'm sorry, he's a member of an organization, and he's saying he's sending out a message to the Jamaican people around the world. Say there is CTA, say disinformation out there, and we must be careful because not no go. So hold on,
Yeah, but
listen
but
to this. Listen to this real quick.
You can continue to support the efforts here. Number one, don't take part of the negative media. There's a lot of negative media out there saying things that are not true. Everybody here is working tirelessly, day after day, pushing the aid, pushing the food, pushing the water, and working with local authorities, the JDF, the government, to be able to support the efforts. Number two is take part of the positive. Anytime you see things that are being posted, share them so other people are aware that there are still needs in Jamaica and that a response is taking place. And then a bonus one is if you don't feel comfortable giving money to organizations, come to Jamaica and vacation in some of those resorts that are open. There are many beautiful beaches still and places where you can come, spend your money, and help the economy.
You hear what the man say?
man,
Lot,
we say,
lot of disinformation
and
out.
what but the man is saying is also that's why the Prime Minister need to address the nation. I do have to listen to me because him smarter than me. But I mean, he need to address the nation because him addressing the nation would also reach the international community. The things that
Yes.
he has to say, will get a chance to say to the international community what exactly is happening. And that would probably get him some more aid. He need to address the nation and
The,
let the international community pick it up. Let
and
the international media pick it up.
the
Not to go to the
disinformation,
interview on CNN now, no interview on Fox. Address the damn
talk to the
country.
people them directly.
Talk to the people them who got affected directly. You don't have to talk to nobody in the Westmoreland because they already get flooded out from September 3. So I mean, him kind of talk to people in general and say what he has to say and put some disinformation, kill some disinformation, and
Yes.
most importantly, give the international community a chance to hear what him have to say, and they will respond accordingly.
You know, so the disinformation now come from external people, you know.
Um,
Internally, the disinformation now come from from the
the
people.
American tell nobody information. I know.
To the world of Jamaica, nobody from outside of the Jamaica now put out the disinformation upon the country.
I go
And them
come out
still
now.
wicked people of Jamaica.
They will
Mm.
come out now. My throat really giving me a
The man
water.
say this,
All
the man
right.
say this ignore. The man say if you ignore the negative, press and put out the positive, and then where you have information where people are reach, you put that out. And
Mm-hmm.
those who don't want to send money, come. Don't tell them what
From
come. Come for
vacation.
vacation and help the economy grow. No, that's a positive thing. Why we can't hear that from Dionne Jackson? Why Dionne Jackson-Miller can't talk about that? I mean,
She
the
does
police
it.
then deal with the butter and the puss then.
Karen right. She must have worked for gold in them.
You don't know what she work with because you don't know. I don't know what kind of argument them there, but I don't know who she. You see, I think that they're expecting that the people of foreign will hear and don't send the aid come.
And that them
That's the
really
first
want.
thing. Because them certainly wasn't going to send no aid to no opposition. So but that them away from that now. The
Lord.
relationship between government is government to government. And the government going to send anything, it's to the government of Jamaica, never the opposition. And
Mm-hmm.
the charities them can send to them one charity or them send to government. Right?
Mm-hmm.
No. At the charities them they are not talk about the long bag of weight, the people in their charities, the volunteers, them had the long bag of weight. I wish you talk about.
Me no know who she are talking about. She need to clarify.
Yes, she need yes, we need to know we are talking about. Because she must be talking from some kind of experience. She need to tell us the precedents for what she's talking about.
Okay. Well on there, Mr. Senator Morgan is in the chat. The people them must say, um, Senator Morgan is in the chat. You don't have any question for him? 'Cause I can call him, you know. I don't know if he will take the call or not, but I can try. Karen, you have a problem with the communication.
How about carrying on?
I think she's. Do you have any questions?
Me, no sir.
Okay.
Except well maybe we need an interactive map to show us where the people get help so far and where they don't get help so that
Mm-hmm.
the government will be on top of it. I'm sure they should have that map. We need to see it. The prime minister should come out in a, PG. All of the prime ministers that used to do that, even Bruce, will come out 8 o'clock or sometime
Mm-hmm.
here a message to the nation and all that kind of thing. And then come
If
out and then
Morgan
talk.
is in the chat, we just need to tell him that they need to get the Prime Minister in front of a camera at Jamaica House,
Okay.
flanked with the Jamaican flag and the international flags, and address the nation and talk to the people who have been affected and let
Mm-hmm.
that message reach our international partners and shut down people like Frillmouth, Dionne Jackson-Miller.
And when we talk about him coming on, we don't mean to say if he come on with anybody else, him one.
Yes,
No,
it's an
Especially
address
with
to the
no,
nation.
the
nobody else, just him. Nobody
minister.
beside him, nobody
Mhm.
behind him, just him and the flags.
That's right. No need nobody
Him
asking no
and the
question.
flags.
He not at any press conference answer no
No, it's not a
question.
press conference. Him not take a question. Him
And he
not
talk to people.
and not take nothing. He just talk to Jamaican people and then
Mhm.
and pray with them. That's it.
That is
Argument.
the usual address to a nation kind of
Yes.
setting.
When he
Mm-hmm.
did the New Year's messaging and him spoke about what is to come with the irrigation system and agriculture and him show the camera and then the kind of something that we are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yes.
And him maybe have to come out and do it all once a week too, because we're in a crisis. And when in a crisis, you want to hear the tone of your leader and them something there. Me know say I'm busy, but I 100% agree say he needs to address the nation. You see, the world is watching what's going on in Jamaica, and they cannot hear enough of what is going on. And I mean, hearing it from the prime minister, the leader of the country, and hearing him and seeing him, you know, it's just a thing to do. And also, as I said about the communication part of the whole thing, and them kind of weird. So I'm glad that the senator is over here. Hopefully, he hears what we're saying. Um, and we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. So, ladies, do you have any final words?
No, not from me.
Okay. All right. So, no one to say good night and next week to the people them. Oh, hold on. So the senator calling here. Hello. Good night.
Billy.
Hi.
Good night to Karen and Michelle as well.
Yeah,
I
man.
hope I'm coming through well enough. Because my internet where I am is a bit unstable at times. I am away on government business here in the People's Republic of China.
Okay.
And it is just a minute, 10:30 thereabout in the morning on Sunday here in the PRC. But just to assure you guys that the suggestions are duly noted, I am detecting, based on my own media monitoring as well, Karen and ladies generally, an attempt to kind of exploit and tap into a natural trust deficit that exists where government is concerned. And, people usually approach government and the government service and things concerning that with a degree of skepticism and mistrust and so on. And what you're seeing in the commentary and just even the line of questioning on the part of some practitioners in the profession, it is essentially tapping into and exploiting some of them for self-serving purposes, but it is exploiting that natural inclination that many among us have to be distrustful of government. I think it's unfortunate, especially in this case, coming from someone who is a practitioner in the legal profession. And as we all know, one of the canons of the justice system is that there's a presumption of innocence. Now, you cannot have, in circumstances where we have so many new players in government, both in terms of the opposition benches, where the legislature is concerned, and people like Delano Seabright, Audrey Marks, Andrew Morris. So many people have now come into the political class in recent times, myself even. And for commentary to be espoused that suggests that there's a raft of 2-foot puss up and about the place, and some of them are, rolling out their long bags at this time. It is a bit disparaging. I think it's a bit unfortunate, and it just goes to show much of what government is up against in terms of, persons who, instead of using this moment in a more sober and constructive way, they're essentially sowing seeds of discord and distrust and so on. But the work has to press on, and that is why, what people like yourself are doing is so commendable and patriotic, because government is never to be above criticism. So we welcome critique, we welcome suggestions, and we just want Jamaicans, as we've seen others like Ramesh and a host of others from all segments of the society do, is to just be positive and patriotic, because when you have crises such as this, it is for people to just do what they can in their little neck of the woods to make somebody's life better, to assist that single mother, if it is even to help her tap back a sheet of zinc on her place, even in the interim, until more substantial and sustainable assistance comes her way through the formal channels.
Okay. So, when are you going back home?
I returned to Jamaica in the wee hours of Wednesday.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I'll be missing the Reggae Boys match, but I trust everybody will. And that's an appeal I want to make as well, using the platform, ladies. We want the 12th man, the fans of Jamaica, the supporters of our country, to, as best as possible, be out in their numbers, encourage others as well.
Yes.
This would be an important feat for Jamaica to attain. It would be our second berth at the World Cup finals. And the Reggae Boys didn't get the result that we all would have wanted this past Thursday in Trinidad and Tobago, but we're hoping that we'll come away with a positive result, a victory on Tuesday. And we want people to go enough up the stadium and go on with themselves, as Karen would say. Vuvuzelas and... No, Karen has a particular word for vuvuzelas. Perhaps we can remind us. But,
yeah,
they get the gist. Who can knock pot cover, go up a stadium with a pot cover, big and bossy, and brawling, and let the people who try to cry Jamaica and shout down Jamaica, let them, turn a back, as we would say.
So how you think the thing will go so far? Because we've never dealt with anything to this magnitude before. Some of
This
us are
is
still just in
unprecedented.
shock and all them something there. So the progress.
Yeah. So there's no doubt that, especially when you consider the context, this weather system, Hurricane Melissa, has devastated us, and it came at a juncture where many of our stakeholders, many of our brothers and sisters, particularly our farmers and even small business people, were just bouncing back, as it were, following burial.
Mm-hmm.
And quite frankly, it underscores, ladies, so much of what we have used the past 9 or so years to espouse and advocate fiscal responsibility. So in other words, you can't wait till your car crash, Natalie,
Mm-hmm.
to go up a Prudential or any other life insurance company go seek insurance.
Mm-hmm.
It is important to have insurance and to have your house in order for rainy days, because based on where Jamaica is located,
Mm-hmm.
we're a small island developing state, and we know that we may have adverse weather systems such as a hurricane come our way. We know that we may have an earthquake, God forbid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the truth is that there are these exogenous shocks that will come our way from time to time. But thankfully, from a fiscal resilience standpoint, certain provisions were made based on how severe the weather system was. However, those provisions, as it turned out now, hardly scratch the surface just because of the extent of damage. Our many farms have been wiped out. Whole heap of things flat right now in our country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And when you think of dislocation in the tourism and attraction sector, small businesses, when I drove through 2 weekends ago, when I drove through Brampton and I drove through Ferris, past places like White House
Mm-hmm.
and Belmont in eastern Westmoreland in particular, and you see what will happen to community life, because the bar is just not there again, and a lot of those structures were wooden structures with zinc roof and a thing flatter ground.
Yes.
So it gives you a sense as to a lot of people who would earn their living based on
Mm-hmm.
the special, the rum and boom we sell at them bar, whether it is a poker box that in them bar, a man might have a little cash pot outlet at him shop, and himself credit, himself cash pot, himself look a thing. A number of these structures are down right now, and so we spare a thought for our Jamaican brothers and sisters. We continue to do our part. You would have seen government officials being out, and thankfully this is not something that only the political class has taken to, because Jamaicans across the country, Prime Minister himself would have underscored that a few mornings ago when he, sat with Ramesh. The entertainment sector have been out, and corporate Jamaica have been responding positively as well, because a lot of the care packages that you see people go through, people may not know, but a number of our leading corporate sector entities and partners have made those things possible. I don't want to get into any name calling, but we want to commend the private sector. This is a time when people must just stand together and not try to approach the recovery and relief following Melissa through the prism of politics, which is why I am a bit, bewildered by this setting up of a fund by a certain political party, because when you do that, it will telegraph to people that partisan considerations will be part and parcel of your approach to relief, and it should never be that way. It should never be.
Wow. While you're here, we're not gonna hear from you for a few days, but do you agree with the suggestion of the Prime Minister addressing the nation?
That's a suggestion that I'm not averse to. As you can appreciate, a number of platforms and modalities are available to government and, officials and people who seek to communicate, whether you're corporate or not. But even more so to government, because in this case, as you know, the Prime Minister, as Karen suggested earlier, can attend upon the nation by way of national broadcast. It may not have to be that. It could be in the way you're suggesting as well, but a short video of sorts, like 2 minutes and 30 seconds stops, and he's just communicating some hard facts and hard truths to the people of Jamaica. One of the things I want to touch on ladies, is that the suggestion is being bandied about that would liken Jamaica to a patty shop or a banana republic. And it is absolutely not so. When funds come in to Jamaica using the portal by way of donations from persons, whether they're abroad or abroad, yeah, those funds ultimately go to the consolidated fund and are utilized in financing and underwriting the various undertakings of the government in relation to relief. Now, we're in our infancy, of course, in relation to the receipt of donations into the portal. And as government's response takes shape, the public will be apprised in greater detail as to what, forms of assistance will be meted out into, because as you know, one of the more pressing matters right now is just for people to get back a structure, a roof over their head and a house around them. Yeah, a lot of people in White House, Ferris, I drove through Witton and a place called Haddo when we made our way from Anchovy down to Belmont Academy. Myself and the state minister in the Ministry of Education, we were touring some schools that were severely damaged in the hardest hit areas. And we brought relief supplies and so on, some care packages to, teachers and other stakeholders in education who are, of course, needy at this particular point in time, yeah? So when you consider that kind of dislocation, the resources coming into Jamaica are going to be subject to the appropriate channels of accountability and scrutiny, even throughout this weather system when we were preparing for it and people were making all kinds of calls for how much money should be given and so on. Because remember, there's a particular political party and a particular set of politicians. Michelle will underscore this point as well. All they have been preoccupied with in the lead up to Hurricane Melissa, and certainly in the aftermath of Melissa, is just macadam and money. So the fact of the matter is that, as the Prime Minister has been at pains to mention when those press conferences were being had in the lead up to Melissa, accountability is not something that will be put on pause or can be placed on pause. The government system don't work like that. Government is a steward of public funds. It is the authority. Government is basically the authority that superintends those funds on all of us' behalf, on Michelle's behalf, on Karen's behalf, on Princess's behalf, and on Fimi's behalf. See? So the idea is that when funds are spent, when work is done, you ultimately have to demonstrate to the people of Jamaica that we derive value for money. So this suggestion, like money come down in our bag, as is alleged to have come from a certain state in Southern America the other day, some weeks ago. I heard a couple of our friends here with that allegation, but we're not getting into that so much now. There are those who would suggest that money come down in our bag and people can take it and put it up in our room up on one part. It is just not like that. That's not the mechanism or the modality through which, it works. And even in the business of contracting, one of the things to be known and appreciated as well is that even players in the politics, to the extent that they would have had the appropriate resolution moved in the parliament or the declaration made, there are persons who may legitimately contract with government. So there are persons who would try to suggest that, the matter of contracting is the mechanism through which people will use to line long bags and so on. And that kind of commentary is just divisive. It is ill-timed. And as I said earlier in the conversation, Natalie and ladies generally, that kind of rhetoric is not what we want to be uppermost in our country at this point. And you know why it is a bit disturbing and disconcerting? Jamaica has just settled a particular issue. We literally just had elections.
Yes.
So I mean, if elections were in the offing, and you know that naturally, the tribes, as PJ described them as, are at daggers drawn, you can kind of understand the combativeness and the antagonism. But the truth of the matter is that September 3 just passed the other day. It just gone. And we had a particular question settled.
as at September 3. So for folks to be suggesting as though, boy, where that daggers drawn and there's this chicken coop, this fall coop, and some mongoose are try broken at the fall coop, so we have to go watch it. Karen asked a good question a while ago. Who are the we? Yeah? Who are the we in all of this?
Yeah.
And then, logically too, why would you be suggesting that the political class, essentially, that superintends public funds, are, somehow comprised of people who are 2-foot puss? A person like myself wouldn't want to be labeled as such, and it wouldn't be fair for me, for example, and others to be labeled as such when we live in a society, we live in a jurisprudence where there's a presumption of innocence. So until you have further and better particulars, you shouldn't be coming with that kind of rhetoric, that kind of language.
I'm not from a
and
journalist.
When I did a course, and there you go. When I did a course some years ago in at university, they taught us that the auditor approaches his or her work with professional skepticism. So the auditor not be accuse Natalie of being a thief, but the auditor is professionally skeptical, which is why the auditor does his or her work, in terms of running tests and doing their field work and trying to corroborate here and there and so on in order to express an opinion, because that's what the auditor does, express an opinion as to whether the financial statements presented or whatever Natalie said or present, it is materially true and free of misrepresentation. Is it? So it is unfortunate for us to essentially be casting our country as though it is a fall cube. The financial coffers is a fall cube. I have some mongoose out there where I try to look for,
A circle.
If there are any credible allegations or if people are found to be a 2-foot post, we already know that there are well-established mechanisms and channels to treat with that.
Yes.
Who for go jail, who for wear short pants, who for get bangled, just like how Joel and Silvera is sitting at a certain place this evening. You see it?
No, before you go, tell the people them quickly.
I dominate the thing, I want a fluid conversation, so I want JPU, and not JPU, I want yourself, 411 and Karen for them bit and sitting.
Yeah.
And not dealing in a monologue and so.
Yeah, before you go, tell
our stylist will level with the people and check in,
Yeah, man, I'm glad to say it over here tonight. Before you go, though, tell the people them what hat you're wearing today, because some are asking me when we talk about the communication, everybody asks for you. So tell the people them now, you are in the Senate, and tell them what else you're doing now over in education.
Oh, well, substantively, consequent on my appointment on the 19th of September, I think it was, I'm serving as Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information.
Okay.
I am also a member, as you will recall and appreciate, of the Jamaica Labour Party's Communications Task Force. We know that, especially at this junction, at a moment such as this, where we're up against it, a lot of misinformation, a lot of disinformation, a lot of agenda peddling and pushing. When folks are going to come to a press conference and suggest that government has power somehow to mobilize and deploy vultures, it gives you a sense as to how difficult government's work is. And so people like myself, though we just had an election contested and it's done and dusted, we know that the work doesn't stop at all.
True.
Which is why, we're still at it. And I do take the point. I do appreciate the observation that more can be done and more should be done, especially when it is as clear as day that a certain set of people are not going to be letting up. And as I heard you earlier, elsewhere, Natalie, mentioning, you were on Facebook dealing with a certain man, such man who will remain nameless.
Yeah, man.
When you were dealing with such man, you made the point that, listen, buckle up, because it's going to be a rough ride over the 5-year period.
Oh, yeah.
And those sentiments resonated with me, because I am already buckled up. And I know that based on every signal being sent by the parliamentary opposition, Yeah, when you just look at how they conduct themselves in parliament, when you look at the preoccupation with money, 50 million, we want 10 million, we want 50 million, you know, everything are just money. You know, here them are mobilize or galvanize NGOs and so on and so forth in a national effort. See certain man are sending shipment and see who the shipment are go to.
Yeah.
It are go to such and such.
Isn't that something?
But you know, I guess the NGO community and donors are free to make donations as they see fit. They're free to determine it how they wish for it to go. But I think we shouldn't have the specter of politics looming large, especially at this time. Because the truth of the matter is that when the system blew and impacted Central St. Mary, whether you're the Highgate, you were impacted. Zane, and whether the Port Maria or Islington, you would have been similarly impacted. So, whether you are a worker for Mirage or a worker for Omar Newell, if you lose your roof and you're desirous of and you're in need of relief and support, you should get it. I note something in the media in recent hours with the JLP's caretaker down in central Westmoreland, George Wright, essentially he's alleging that persons are being, you know, left out of relief support on account of their politics. So when a man go mobilize a shipment and send it to such man who Lawrence Road did affair, you know, shadow and watch, allegedly, it gives you a sense as to, you know, how unfortunate it is, because when you do the partisan thing, it just causes political considerations to loom large, and that is precisely not what you want to have at this time. Because when I went through Eastern Westmoreland, Zane, as far as the eyes could see, it was only the concrete structures that stood up. A lot of the concrete structures, even to the extent that they had the kind of shingle and decoramastic or zinc roof, a lot of them they're gone.
Oh God.
So the point is, the system affected people. It was no respecter of whether your pocket deep like Karen one or whether your pocket shallow like my own. It was no respect of whether you're slim like Michelle or whether you're fat like Marlon Morgan. It is no respect of whether you're bright like Natalie or, you know, not so bright like such people. You see it? So that is what we have to just appreciate and understand. We shouldn't be getting into the green and orange. I noticed even a particular gentleman who would consider himself a benefactor or a philanthropist, when he goes out with his TV outfit of the partner variety, he goes out and he makes connections specifically with certain caretakers. Mr. Pat Moore, and then he made a connection with incumbent MPs Vaz in Central Westmoreland, and they were allegedly mobbed or whatever you want to call it. So kerfuffle went on.
Ambush. Lord.
Right? So it just shows you that, unfortunately, there are those persons who are approaching this relief thing through the prism of green and orange. And the government don't have that luxury. The government, as I said, we preside over public funds, and based on the exhortations of the Prime Minister and what all of us as government officials commit to, we are in the business of providing relief and support to the people of Jamaica on the basis of them being the people of Jamaica. So whether them work for the NDM and wear blue shirt, whether them work for UIC and wear no shirt, whether them work for the JLP and wear a green shirt, or them work for Mark Golding and wear orange shirt. If you lose your roof, if you lose your farm and you need to get back a start and a degree of support, the support will be made available to you ultimately using the appropriate channels, because you are in need and you are deserving of it. All our way a taxpayer are free money in the first place.
Yes.
And then whatever we get from donations based on, international partners and or bilateral partners pouring into Jamaica, it's poured into Jamaica on the basis of the collective. Because when the system did a blow, it wasn't a selector of roofs. If my roof did in the way, it would get blow off. And I lost my family roof. The roof of my family residence in Magati, St. Elizabeth was torn off.
Oh,
and we have
wow.
had to secure it with a little tarpaulin in the interim
Yes.
with a view to have a more sustainable solution going forward. Because the truth is that based on the dwelling and how it was constructed, it can't take the casting, it can't take the decking. And that's one of the things we have found in education as well. Because a number for schools, some of the buildings at Monroe, for example, even the Manning School and others, some of those older school plans, they cannot be fitted with the cast roof unless you're going to have a considerably massive undertaking in terms of reinforcing them with deeper foundation, more beams and more columns and so on.
That's a lot.
But ordinarily, some older structures just can't take the concrete decking.
Okay.
So we have to, while we're seeking to build back better in terms of
infrastructure,
sturdier roofing solutions in particular, there are some constraints because there are some roofing solutions that are not available, so to speak, readily for some structures because a long time building and it just can't take the weight of the concrete. So you can't deck the top of it.
Yes.
You have to try to find another approach.
So how the education part of this recovery looks so far? I know some schools are reopened. I don't know how many are not.
Yeah.
What's the prospect for that?
All right. So we are a resilient and creative people. Our sector, education, has been hard hit, ladies. Then, the first order of business when the system hit was essentially what the other sectors have been embarked on, which is damage assessment. Now, based on our damage assessment, Natalie, and viewers and listeners, we determined that Regions 1, which is essentially Kingston and St. Andrew, Regions 2, which comprises St. Thomas, Portland, and St. Mary, and Regions 6 and 7, with Region 7 being Clarendon and Region 6 being the parish of St. Catherine. We determined that those schools in those regions, which is obviously the lesser hit aspect of the island, lesser hit part of the islands but those schools may be in a position to get back into the traditional teaching and learning environment in terms of face-to-face, which is what has happened in large part. There are areas certainly in Portland and St. Mary that have not yet come back on stream compared to places in St. Thomas. But as I said before, our first order of business was to undertake the damage assessment, check in with our stakeholders, and attend to the psychosocial support. Because one of the things we have emphasized as a ministry is that when you consider the devastating effect that Hurricane Melissa has had, we had to be sensitive as a ministry and bring the human element to bear, recognizing that many of our stakeholders would have been displaced, many of them would be hurting. And so we didn't just rush to be in the business of resumption of teaching and learning. We made provisions for, and we have been advocating and recommending to our education stakeholders psychosocial and psycho-emotional support for our stakeholders. Because when a teacher damn yard and look up in the sky and see say boy I'm roof gone and a stars him look up in psychologically that cannot be an easy thing.
No.
When a teacher in Catherine Hall and if you navigate mud in a them house and you look at all of the things them where you struggle to buy over the years, your little living room suite, you buy your TV, you have your little components that are your entertainment system, a dining table, and as Rosie said some years ago, and a 30 grand fridge and a 30 grand whatnot, and a 30 grand dresser. You see my dear?
Yes.
When you have those realities, you can appreciate that people are hurting and they will have a lot to just reconcile themselves with and navigate psychologically and psycho-emotionally. And so we have a large cadre of clinicians. We refer to them as clinicians who provide support on the psycho-emotional and psychosocial side. We have therapists in terms of psychologists and other form of clinical support that is available to the system. We have been communicating that to our education stakeholders in terms of people who they can reach out to, because these are professionals, Natalie, that the ministry has retained in terms of in their services, and so it is public funds that pay for these service providers, and these service providers are available to the system at no cost to the respective stakeholders. So whether it's a student who needs to be, engaged, or whether it's a teacher or a principal or another member of school administration that needs the support, it is available for them. Their government has put it in place for them. And this was one of the developments that came out of the COVID-19 pandemic, where we recognize that, listen, there's a greater need to invest in the capacity as a people, as a government, and as a country to treat with some of the psycho-emotional challenges that people have to grapple with and navigate, especially when they would have suffered traumatizing events.
Okay. Well, I thank you so much for stopping by here. We wish you a safe trip back home, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your time there. Come back and talk to us sometime.
Yeah, man. That's all right, man. That's the idea.
How long time the people over here ask you, Yeah, from the election.
As you can imagine, I would have spent. So we were full blown in campaign a few weeks leading into the election, and then following that, now having emerged as government for a third successive term, you have to be finding your footing now as a new administration. And then for me, in terms of the new stint and new incarnation in terms of the political executive, I too have had to be finding my own footing. But when you have sense, it's kind of easier. The learning curve is less steep.
That's good.
And you can better assimilate and just come up to speed. So that's precisely what I've done. And I am just delighted to be here in service to you, the people of Jamaica. We don't take it for granted.
Thank you. And we look forward to our suggestions over here, been taken into consideration, and also to the communication
certainly the one in relation to outlining the process as to how the money go. When the money come in, which party go, how it used, because we understand that there are people with, some of them are genuine questions and concerns, and then some are aimed at just fueling mistrust and distrust, and it is just good for a transparent outline and indication as to what go on with the money when they come to Jamaica, so that some people don't have to go to their bed and have nightmares or whatever about 2-foot puss and long bag and hoof a bag longer than others and all of them nonsense.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, thank you so much. Take care,
ladies, all the best. So continue to tune in. Respect.
Thank you.
Cool.
All right. So that was...
Now the thing about the junk pro.
All righty. Karen gone because Karen has a sore throat, so it's just me and 411 here right now, guys.
What did Zara really say about the junk pro business? The afraid people listen. You have it?
Me not have it, but what she was saying is that them need to bring some junk for coming at the era for come eat up the dead meat them.
I saw somebody with a cartoon, and the cartoon with some junk on a flight to Jamaica with them suitcase and them hat and them thing and them coming for vacation.
Well, what do you think about that whole thing?
Well, the only thing I can say to Zara is I think that the flies are more efficient. Like they lay on them in a day, that carcass gone down to bone and skin with the magazine.
Lord, that was very
it was
real left field, man. We didn't see that one coming. All right. Well, you have any final word, or what do you think about what did you get any answers? Or if you had any questions, I should say.
Yes, I like the fact that he agrees that we need to know the money part well.
Speak a little louder. I didn't hear you.
We need to know where the money, when the money comes in, where it goes.
Oh, okay.
I imagine if the Auditor General is here, Karen mentioned, is doing a real time, then she must be doing a real time from somewhere.
Yes,
And it
yes,
must be that a particular account. Money come in, Jamaica, 50 million, it's it update, and then she would just show yourself 50 million coming and so on.
yeah.
But I
Well,
don't know how anything
I
working.
think once a week we've been hearing from the government. I have heard from the government. The last figures I got was that the government raised 540 million through the support Jamaica.gov.jm website.
Mm.
But of course, we need more information, about that.
Well,
So I
that's
think the last
information.
thing this government wants is for anybody call them thief. So I believe that they're going to do what needs
Yeah.
to be done to make sure that there's transparency.
But for somebody to teach, you have to tell us how them do it. You hear Marlon suggest that it is through the contract process. Of course.
Yeah.
That's the trouble with government, you know. Government system is so next to perfection. And if you thief, you're gonna get caught.
And
Right?
some
So
people
the
some
only
people even
way.
understand how government work, and that needs to be explained to the people.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them really don't understand.
And so the only way they can get money to government and not get caught is through the contracts process.
Yes.
Who the hell have time for all them sitting there at a time like this?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm? The contractors are getting work to clean up the road. That is through NWA, so who are them are the long bag people.
Mm-hmm.
And the trade are clearing the way too. I said the police commissioner was going west, I must say the day or two after. And one politician buck him up. He had a team with chainsaw and machete and them a cut away. While other people want helicopter, JDF helicopter to go up on site scene.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I don't know. Dia needs to come and tell us who are these 2 foot people. Clearly, she must be speaking from some kind of experience or some kind of precedent. So please come and tell us who are these 2 foot people you anticipate. And yeah, you can't call names, but at least you can call position and tell me how that 2 foot business is going to work.
Yes, yes, we're looking forward to it in our next upload.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you for joining and thank you for hanging out. I hope Karen feels better. It look like the sickness are growing,
Mm.
So you not feel 200, me can't hear it, but you showed up.
I'm
So
I'm feeling much better. I went to Ochi, came back, and I walked. I was all right. Yesterday I
you
wasn't so
feeling
hot.
better?
Mm-hmm. By
Oh.
tomorrow, the cold gone, man. You sure of it.
Are you gonna get the woman sick?
No wonder.
You did up there?
No, she dropped me off
Then are you the
this
2 1
morning.
sick man?
But me not think me have any sickness where the body can catch. I think it's something to do with the sinus.
Oh, okay.
I
All
never
right.
try to catch other people sick. But then again, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
All right then.
Okay.
So we'll catch up and I'll check out that video with the Buju thing and so forth that you shared
Mm-hmm.
yesterday.
All right. Good night, everybody. Next
Yes.
week.
Thank you for joining.
Okay.
All
Bye.
right.